As you know, once a year, it's my obligation from canon law to give a financial report to the whole parish. And so you'll find the written report in the bulletin today. Take a look at it and you'll see where we stand. It's a little difficult to understand in just layman's terms. I have to go to our accountant and ask him a number of times what this means or that means on the report. But I thought I would highlight some important things for you today. First of all, I have to just say thank you, thank you, thank you. You have been so generous to this parish ever since I became pastor here 5 years ago. And I'm so grateful to God every day for all of you. You've taken the Lord's command to build up my kingdom, to build up my church, and you've taken it to heart. And I can't thank you enough. If you just look at the difference between the last year and this year, special collections and donations in 2016 were $45,483. In 2017, they were $128,405. It's phenomenal. So many times when people see that we have a project going on, I just get a check in the mail for saying, Father, you can probably use this toward the lights or toward the church building or whatever it might be that we're working on. And I'm just so grateful that people see that, and without my even asking, the offertory collection has remained stable. And so that just says a great deal about your commitment to the church. All of the funds that we take in support the operation of the parish and the many capital improvements we need to do. Very valuable to us and to me especially is our part-time staff. I'm the only full-time person on the staff. We have one part-time secretary, Maureen Mountcastle, who is just a real blessing. Maureen goes above and beyond the call of duty of what's expected of a secretary because of her love for the parish, and I'm so grateful to Maureen. My sister Joan Conway is my housekeeper, and she too, more than just vacuuming and doing the laundry, she's outside pulling weeds and she's painting walls and doing all kinds of things for the parish out of goodwill. Ron Klipchak is our part-time custodian. Custodian's a big job, but Ron has been able to accomplish so much every day. He's here checking everything out, letting me know if something needs repair or whatever, and doing a lot of the work himself. I'm so grateful to Ron. And Bob Varga, who is our organist and musician and choir director, has done a phenomenal job with his talent for music. We're so blessed to have Bob. And so with a very small staff, we're accomplishing a great deal because then we have the volunteers. There's so many volunteers doing things. Many people just give us a great deal on something when we know we need it fixed because they're a parishioner and can help. Many people volunteer their time. Yesterday, I had lunch on the deck with many of the people that do all the gardening around the parish. They have saved us thousands of dollars, and as you can see, the grounds always look so beautiful because of their care for the flowers and plants and so forth. And so I'm so grateful to the hours that they put in cutting the lawns and doing all that they do. And then there's the Holy Name Society and the Athletic Association who raise funds for the parish. The parish picnic was a true success financially this year with our raffle. And so I can't say enough about just thank you. It's a wonderful way to give a finance report, isn't it? There have been times in my past when I've had to stand in the pulpit and plead for everybody to increase and so forth, and you just do it, and on your own. I'm just so grateful. You can look at all the figures. You'll see that we finished this past year the tuck pointing of the front of the church, which has stopped a lot of water from flowing in downstairs. The lighting up of the front of the church. You know, we own those two little houses next to the school, east of the school building. And the smaller one, we've been trying to make it fit for sale. It's been a costly adventure. We put about $16,000 into, we had to dig up around the whole foundation and waterproof it inside and out. You know how expensive that is. And a lot of other work we had to do over there. So we had someone interested in the house, but that deal has fallen through. So if anybody's interested in buying that little house, just let me know. It is for sale. And then there's the ceiling fans in the church that fortunately we don't need today. Those have been a great help in the hot weather. The lighting of the church, which is first phase, is done, as you know, and we've got 2 more phases to go. I'd like to put a security system on the rectory. I don't think it'll be too expensive. Now that I'm completely alone in that big house, it's a concern at times because of all the robberies and break-ins in our community we've had this year. I just want to be safe and secure. So we'll be looking into that. The cemetery. The cemetery, if you've gone out there and looked around it recently, it needs some help. We're obligated to take care of that cemetery until the second coming of Jesus. So that's a long time. And there's been many wonderful people buried there who supported this parish and built it up, and we owe them some respect and care. I consulted with Andre La, the head of Catholic cemeteries in the diocese. He came out with a couple of his staff, and they're going to repair the tombstones that are broken. We had some vandalism this year where somebody knocked over about 6 of them and damaged them. So they're going to repair those. And also they're going to send their grounds crew out from Holy Cross Cemetery to level the land, the earth, and help us raise up stones that have sunken into the ground. And then we hope to put a new fence up around it as well. So we're starting an endowment. I opened up an account just a month ago, which is a St. Patrick Parish Cemetery Fund. And all the money that goes in there will only be used for the cemetery. I put the first $100 in myself. And generally, when a family has a funeral here at the parish, they usually make a donation of $100 to the parish. And so from now on, that $100 will always go into the cemetery fund, which I think is a fitting place to put it. So we'll be working on the cemetery little by little. That big tree out here is so beautiful, but the big branches are brushing up against the roof, and they're pulling the slate tiles off. So we have to just trim it. We won't take it down, but we have to trim that big tree. There's other things that we need. The community center, the lease contract proposal is already at the bishop's office for the John Hall's Center for Sober Living that hope to get in there real soon. By leasing that building to Alcoholics Anonymous, will be a service to the men who need the services there, and it'll also be a great benefit to the parish. I've been in constant negotiations with Constellation Schools, who want very much to lease our buildings for their school children. As you know, they're currently down on 150th Street on Puritas, housed in what used to be the old Kronheim's furniture warehouse. And so they need a new school building very badly, and I'm hoping that that's going to work out. We're working on it hard. We keep coming up with proposals on both sides and then getting back together and tweaking them, and hopefully that's going to go through soon. My financial advisors say that we should have about $300,000 in the bank that we never touch. And I think that's a good idea. For everybody, actually, in our own personal finances, it would be good if we had about 6 months worth of money in the bank that we could use in case there was a disaster or loss of funds or whatever, so we could survive. And so we're working towards that as well. We need to put glass block windows in the lower church. We put some in already on this side. You can see how nice they look. But the windows are leaking water into the lower church, and we need to stop a great deal of it just by replacing the windows. They're $300 to $500 a piece if anybody wants to buy one. I'd be glad to work with you. I could go on and on. There's more things to do, but I think overall we're doing very, very well. And it's all because of your tremendous generosity. And if we just keep looking forward if we're proactive to keep things in good repair, we're going to be fine. So it's just wonderful to be able to, on a finance report, just to say thank you for all that you do. In the gospel today, the two sons, when asked to go into the vineyard and work, one just said, "No, I won't," but later on repented and went and did the work. The other one said, "I'll do it," but then he never did. And the one that the Lord praises is the one who at first said no, but then came back to do what the Master wanted. And I think that we look at Jesus as the Son of God. If there was a third son in this story, that would be Jesus, who right away said, "Yes, I'll do it," and did do it for his Heavenly Father. He asks us by our baptism and commitments we make to do the same thing, to build up his kingdom, which is symbolized by the vineyard here. And we're doing that. And I think that we just need to continue. So I thank you again. Every Thursday and every day I pray for all of you. Every single day I pray for all the people whose funerals I celebrated here and in my past. Every Thursday night after confessions, we have benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. And there's usually just a few people here for that because it's late at night. But when I lift up that monstrance and I know that Jesus Christ is in my hands, and I raise it up to give the blessing, and I'm very conscious of everybody west and east, north and south, as I'm giving that blessing, all of you, I give a special prayer to Christ that in his name I ask his blessing upon you and upon our whole parish. And it's a very spiritual moment for me, and I just share that with you because I want you to know that Christ is the center of our parish, center of our life, and I pray to him every single day for all of you. So let's all keep praying together for the good of our parish, and let's continue our generosity. God will not be outdone in generosity. And so the more that we give to the Lord, the more he can do for our well-being and the good of all. So thank you again. Oh, and the one last point I forgot. Last year, the 2016 end of the fiscal year, we were $73,000 in deficit spending from the previous year, which was not good. This year, we're $9,000 to surplus. So there was no deficit spending in spite of all the things that we did do this year. And again, it happened because of your generosity, your volunteering, and all of that. So another good thing to look at on that report. And finally, if you have any questions about the finances or what I'm doing or whatever, don't hesitate to ask me. I'm very happy to explain anything to anybody in the parish who wants to know where we stand financially. So don't hesitate so we can, and your questions sometimes help me to realize we need to do something different. So don't hesitate to talk to me about it. Thanks again.